Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to our our municipal planning / regular council meeting for today, Tuesday, May 26th. I'll call the meeting to order at 8:30 a.m. It's a little bit earlier than normal, and everybody looks right here and Richard Tails and all of that type of stuff. So I'm glad to see you're all here and on time. I will confirm that the presence of the municipal clerk, and I'll ask for members to, when I call your name, ask to indicate whether you're here or not. So go ahead, Deputy Mayor Stover.
I'm here.
Thank you. Councillor Booth.
Yes, I'm here.
Councillor O'Neill.
Present.
Thank you. Councillor Ainsworth is unable to attend this today, and we'll move on without him. We'll call the meeting the territorial land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the township of Alma-Cullen is located on the Mississaugan Ashanindic territory. It is the traditional territory of the Mississaugan Ashanindic. The township of Alma-Cullen respectfully acknowledges that the Mississauga Nation are the collective stewards and caretakers of these lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure their health and integrity for generations to come. Approval of the agenda. Motion to approve the agenda is recommended the Council of Corporation of the Township of Alma-Cullen enact as follows: that the notice provisions be waived to include an item for closed session under Municipal Act 239 regarding 2B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, regarding community or committee member resignations and conduct, and that the agenda for the municipal planning regular council meeting held on May 26th be approved. But I can move in a second. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stover, seconded by Councillor Booth. Do you have a comment?
Yes, I would like to reconsider a motion from the previous meeting, please.
And are you going to tell us what that is?
If you like, I sure will, Mayor Longo. Is this the appropriate time? The clerk's looking a little.
Yes, you do the notice of motion. This is to have a reconsideration.
Yeah, it should come as a motion.
Sorry, I believe a motion to reconsider must come at the next meeting. I can do it as a separate motion from the floor. It's just to add an amendment to an existing.
Just go ahead and tell us what you're talking about.
We passed a motion, and I don't have the wording in front of me because we don't have minutes, but it was that we would receive a report with the options around the funding for the collective agreement process. And I wanted to amend to and further that we ask Hicks Morley to provide education on our options to council.
I think that's, in my opinion, that's quite a bit different from the original motion, and it should come as a notice of motion.
I believe there's some urgency to this, Mayor Local, given that we're being asked to make a decision about future funding, and this is pertinent and necessary information to make a good decision.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that decision was made.
No, we deferred that, Mayor Local.
This recommendation came from the committee of the whole. When we go to actually make that decision, that will come as on the first meeting in June. Right? That's
Right. So then, if I may, Mayor Local, follow up on the logistics of all of this. If the report is coming, and are we not then, like, if we asked for a report to come, if we're using this as our logic for it, would we not then have to approve that we asked for the report and it come at a later meeting then?
Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Through Mayor, these questions are best had prior to the meeting, so I would have happily had a conversation with you so we could avoid this present situation. We could have navigated it together. But since we're in it now, we will, when the reports come through from committee of the whole, that was direction to staff to bring a report forward to June 9. So that's what we're doing at that point. Council then considers that information, because again, there's direction from committee of the whole to bring something further to council for more information and consideration. So at that point, we'll receive that information on June 9. There's no need to reconsider anything at this point in time. It's not on the agenda for today, so it would be a complete separate item to be dealt with.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, or Madam Clerk. You're second.
Thank you. I will follow up with you then regarding how to have that information brought to the council.
Thank you. All in favor? That's carried. A disposal of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof. Seeing that there are none, that'll be duly noted. We're going into closed session. So I'll read the resolution. Motion to move into closed session. It is recommended the council of the corporation of the township of Allen enact as follows. That the municipal planning / regular council meeting of May 26, 2026, moving to a closed session under Municipal Act Section 239(2), regarding personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, labor relations or employee negotiations, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting a municipal or local board, advice that is subject to a solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, a position, plan, procedure, criteria, or instruction to be applied to any negotiations carried on or by, or to be carried on behalf of the municipal or local board. That's regarding staffing matters, committee member resignations, and conduct. Could I get moving a second? Councilor Booth, second by Deputy Mayor Stover. All in favor? Motion's carried. Staff, can we set up the route to move to close?
For the 2 members of the public who are currently still on the Zoom meeting, if you could kindly step out of the Zoom, we will reopen the Zoom link when it's time for the public planning meeting at 9:30. If you'd like to check back in then, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk. So I'm reporting out of closed. We are back into open, but I'll report what we did out of closed. Council met in closed session, received a resignation letter of advisory committee members, T. Crothers, S. L. Steve, L. Maitland, and D. Ward. The staffing matter item initially listed on the schedule was deferred to a later meeting due to a presenter being unable to attend. Could I get a mover in a second? Moved by Councilor Booth, second by Deputy Mayor Stover. All in favor? Motion's carried. And normally I would say we would, we could consider, I'm looking for some advice from members of council on this. We're sitting waiting to start at 9:30. We probably could pull some stuff ahead. However, there was some individuals that were here for equally this morning, and we had asked him to leave, and the gentleman left, so I would suggest we hold on and wait till take a little bit longer than normal recess, and then start back into our meeting at 9:30. Everybody happy with that? We don't need to move in a second, we just do that. Okay. Suggested to get a motion that because we are going to be off until for 30-40 minutes, so. Moved by Councilor O'Neill, seconded by Councilor Booth. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion's carried. We are adjourning till 9:30 a.m. and we'll get back into the regular council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hasn't been going on my bag. They don't know. Yeah. I think not, it's sort of section.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Just so everybody's aware, we've already had the portion of the meeting on closed, and now we're going to go into the open portion of the meeting. So, first on our docket is a motion to move to a land division. We'll start off with approval of the minutes, and, there will be no minutes this morning. Business arising from the previous minutes. Delegations, and then we're moving to adjourn to the land division committee or the committee of adjustment. So I'll take a motion from members of council that the council of the township of Allen, being a land division committee or committee of adjustment, move to the land division committee of adjustment meeting at 9:30 a.m. Can I get a mover and second? Moved by Councilor O'Neill, second by Deputy Mayor Stover. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. And I'll call this meeting to order at 9:30. And this is our Committee of Adjustment Land Division meeting agenda. I will confirm the quorum with four members of council all here. Councilor Ainsworth is unable to attend today. Territorial land acknowledgement. We respectively acknowledge the township of Allen is located on the Mississauga and Anishinaabeg territory and is a traditional territory of the Mississauga Anishinaabeg. The township of Allen respectively acknowledges that the Mississauga Nation are the collective stewards and caretakers of these lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure their health and integrity for generations to come. Motion to approve the agenda, that the agenda for the Committee of Adjustments / Land Division Committee meeting held on May 26, 2026 be approved. Could I get a move and a seconder? Moved by Councilor O'Neill, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stover. Discussion? All in favor? That's carried. Motion to adopt the meeting minutes, and the first one we have is the Committee of Adjustments Land Division Committee meeting of March the 24th, 2026. And it is recommended that the Committee of Adjustment Land Division Committee of the Corporation of the Township of Allen enact as follows. That the minutes for the Committee of Adjustment Land Division Committee meeting held on March 24th, 2026 be approved. Did I get a move in a second? Moved by Deputy Mayor Stover, seconded by Councilor Booth. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion's carried. Are there any business arising from those minutes? Seeing none, that'll be noted. We're going to move on to our first consent application, and it's by 4D Investments Corporation. And our Secretary Treasurer of the Planning Group, Tracy Webster, is going to make a presentation for us. Please go ahead, Tracy.
Good morning, thank you. Through the chair, I think there's some glare on that screen. Thank you. Through the chair, the purpose of the application is to sever a 0.4 or 1 acre parcel to create a vacant hamlet residential lot retaining a 5.26 hectare parcel. A draft plan of subdivision application is proposed on the balance of the subject property for 8 single detached dwellings. It is recommended that the application be deferred until all department, agency, and peer review comments have been received and assessed. Thank you. And we will complete the public hearing portion of the application today. And if anyone wants to register as an interested party, they're asked to leave their name and address so that we can notify them in the future, or email address as well. Thank you.
And is that, there's a sheet there? We have to leave that name? and number?
I can leave a piece of paper here.
Fine, thank you. Members of council, any questions or comments regarding this application? Seeing none, is the owner of the property here and wishing to speak?
Public.
Or public first, okay. Public comment from the public regarding this application? Go ahead, Dan.
Please come to the
Come to the front so people can hear you. Morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Local. Grit Cole, 104 Bowman Court, Grafton. I've looked at the initial plan for this. It sounds lovely, but I must say that I kind of object to using this parcel of land that's quite environmentally protected in so many areas. I think that's probably why it hasn't been developed to this point, and it is right across from the school. The other concern is that the road for the subdivision actually is off Old Danforth, so it doesn't come out on the Station Road. The house will be built on Station Road, which will obviously have a driveway, but the roadway in, and it's also a condominium road, which means it'll be the responsibility of the 8 homeowners in there to maintain and look after that road. The big question is, how are we going to deal with construction traffic? Last year, I did a delegation with Simon Schneiderman regarding the new Danforth development because of construction traffic going through the school zones. So that doesn't change. And now that we've got a 12-home subdivision in behind the church off Old Danforth, and now these 8 homes, that now brings it up to 20 homes. If construction goes at the same time, there's a heck of a lot of trucks and things that are going to be going through there. So my main concern is, can the same consideration be given to this development if it is approved, that the construction traffic is routed around the school zones, please?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other public comments? Go ahead. Please state your name and address.
Good morning, it's Chris Renault and Janice Renault, and we are 265 Old Danforth Road. Our property is directly beside this plan to do the construction of these houses. We moved here 4 years ago, and we were under the understanding that this was environmental land. We knew that it was being farmed at the time we bought our house. And within that first year, I think it was, the property was sold and they stopped farming, and the whole field turned into a big mess. And I phoned the town and complained about it, and I was told nothing could be done about it because it's a private lot and no construction. So we basically put up with all the weed growing this high, and it's basically done a lot of damage to my property. And now we see this posted that they're going to build, or they want to build, 8 houses. And my concern now is, how is this going to affect my property being right beside it? The road's going to be going right down the side of my property. And from the picture, where they showed the lot or the road. There is another picture you have there, and it shows the road coming up along the side of my property, and it appears, I'm not sure, like a buffer, or I don't know if it's gonna be a ditch or who's gonna take care of that property? As I just heard them say, if this is a private road and whoever moves into there has to take care of this property. My house, our house, runs all the way down the side, and do you have the picture of that,
We have a picture?
Through the chair, this portion of the meeting is dealing with the lot on Station Road. At this point, there's another public meeting later in the agenda where we'll deal with the subdivision, and we do have a slide that shows the draft plan of subdivision for that portion of the meeting. Thank you.
okay, well, I received a copy of that plan with the road,
Yeah.
the court, in the mail a week, 2 weeks ago, so.
Excuse me, Chris, just so I make sure I understand. What we're dealing with is the lot in red and not in the green. Is that correct?
And that's correct for this specific public meeting. There will be the public meeting that deals with the balance of the land later in the council meeting agenda.
Okay. I thought that meant the other.
Chris, you're welcome to come back and do exactly what you've done.
Okay, well, I will be doing that.
Yes. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
well, you're welcome. Other members of the public, yeah, this proposal is just coming off Station Road for one lot. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's for the consent application.
And we'll be dealing with the subdivision later on this week. Is there anybody else that wants to address the lot, consent application for coming off Station Road? Okay. Well, yeah, I have someone online that would like to make a comment. Please state your name and your address. And you'll be speaking.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, good morning, John. It's Andrew Patterson, 625 Station Road.
Oh, so that was 6245?
No, 625 Station Road, just right beside the lot that's to be severed.
Okay,
I was hoping that maybe you can, instead of severing the land, you can do something else for the school, for the turnarounds, because there's a constant flow, and it's been, since we moved in here in 2012, people continue to use my driveway as their personal turnaround. So the loop that you put in a few years ago, it only allows the bus to go through there to drop children off, but not parents. So we're still lining the street with cars and using my driveway as their turnaround. And I was hoping that maybe we could do something with that lot instead of severing it.
okay. We're making a note of that. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Okay,
Have a good day and good luck. Okay.
Tracy, do you have a comment?
Apologies, I realized there was an email that did come in from someone. I'm not sure if they're able to attend. Lynn Caswell wants to object to the proposal of yet another one and only access point on the branch road Danforth. This will apply to both subdivision and this application. They recognize that severance for one more home fronting Station Road will eliminate the option of having access on Station Road. So that I wanted to make sure was pointed out today. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, I believe you wanted to make a comment? No. Okay.
Al Patterson is 644 Station Road. The gentleman that was just on, Andrew, talking about the lot there that's done in red across from the school, he's quite correct. When the school is out, you take your life into your own hands because only one car can get up the road. Everybody else's cars on both sides. And there's no room for anything else. We're just waiting for an accident to happen. We've been here 5 years now. And nothing seems to be done. It's gotta be one of the worst roads too, potholes. But, I'm in full agreement with Andrew that they should do something with that lot that enhances the school for pickup, drop off, just to get the kids off the road and the parents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? The owner here?
I don't see them in the audience. Are they online perhaps?
We don't know. We don't know the name.
Sukai or Adir. Sorry, I'm gonna not pronounce the name correctly.
Eco View.
Yes, EcoView.
Okay. Eco View, I'm not sure who I'm talking to. Please go ahead and make your, state your name and let us know your thoughts.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Great.
Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is Aditya Srinivas. I'm a planner at EcoView Consulting and the agent on this application. I'm representing 4D Development Corporation. Given that most of these concerns are related to the plan of subdivision rather than the consent, I'll be responding to those concerns once the public meeting is done. Yeah, if the council has any questions pertaining to the severed lot, I'm happy to answer them. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions from council regarding the application? Go ahead, Councilman Neal.
Could you just help me understand what the current use of the property is, please?
It's currently vacant.
Okay.
There was agricultural use occurring in the past, but currently it's vacant.
Appreciate the moment. Any question? Thank you. Any other questions or comments from council? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to read the recommendation. It is recommended that the Land Division Committee / the Committee of Adjustment for the Corporation of the Township of Alma defer application AH012026 by 4D Investment Corporation. The owner is Patty Sukil to serve a parcel of land for the creation of a new hamlet residential lot in concession A, part of lot 21 and 22, geographically in the Township of Alderman, until all department, agency, and peer review comments have been received and assessed. I get mover and seconder. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stover, seconded by Councilor O'Neill. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Next, we have application for consent from John Michael Apostolides. And it's for AH032023. And Tracy, please, you have something we can look at?
Thank you. Through the chair. The application is located at 578 Fifth Line Road. And the purpose is to sever a 23.08 hectare or 57.03 acre parcel to convey to a nonprofit entity for natural heritage conservation. The applicant in this case is the Northumberland Land Trust, And the applicants will retain a 4.14 hectare parcel with their home and accessory buildings. The application maintains the intent of the township's official plan and is consistent with the provincial planning statement. It's recommended that the application be approved subject to standard conditions. And the purpose of this meeting is to have the public hearing portion. And I'm available for questions if need be. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Any members of the public have any questions regarding this application? Anybody online? Okay, how about the applicant? I see Sabrina's here. Please go ahead, Sabrina.
Sabrina Hasselfeld with Northumberland Land Trust. We are acting as the agents for John Apostolides on this application. And I just wanted to say that we've promised to preserve this property by the end of 2026. So we'd like to move forward with this process as quick as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mayor.
Sabrina?
Sabrina, we have a question.
If I could through you, Mayor Logo. Always a pleasure when I see your name on because it's always a good news story. The Northumberland Land Trust is doing great work. I just wanted to highlight the comment from the Alderfield First Nations, and I know that we're very familiar with you, and I hope that you just saw that and are going to go see them too.
Yes, myself and my executive director, Amanda Newell, we have set up a meeting with them to consult.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions? Thanks, Sabrina.
Thank you.
Members of council, any questions for the Madam Chair? Actually, I should say members of the committee, not the council. Seeing none, going to read the resolution. It is recommended the council of the township of the corporation of the township of Allen act as follows: that application AH 2023 by John and Michael Apostolides, that's a tough one, to serve and convey a parcel of land for natural heritage conservation in lot 20, concession 5, geographically in the township of Allen, be approved subject to the following conditions: that a registered survey for the severed parcel be submitted to the township. In addition to the registered survey, a geo-reference DWG file of the survey be provided in a format satisfactory to the township and Northumberland County. That a draft transfer and certificate of official for the severed parcel be submitted to the township. That the applicant's lawyer submit an undertaking confirming that the severed parcels will be transferred to the Northumberland Land Trust to be used for natural heritage conservation. That the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. That a zoning bylaw amendment be in effect for the retaining parcel pursuant to the Planning Act. That $300 for the issuance of the certificate of official be paid in accordance with the bylaw 78/2024 fees and charges bylaw. Can I get a mover to second it? Moved by Deputy Mayor Stover, seconded by Councillor O'Neill. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. And the next application is application for consent for Graham Harris and Shelley Ray Slovian, AH 042026 and AH 05026. Tracy, you want to take us through this one?
Thank you, through the chair. The applications for consent have been submitted at 180 Pretty Road. The purpose is to sever two parcels, 27.32 hectare or 67.51 acre and a 1.61 hectare or 3.98 acre parcel to convey to the nonprofit entity for natural heritage conservation, retaining a 0.51 hectare parcel. And in this case, it's the applicant the agent is the Northumberland Land Trust. There are two parcels in this instance because there are buildings on the smaller portion. The land trust wants to retain those buildings, and the two parcels are proposed in relation to funding requirements. It is recommended that the applications be approved subject to standard conditions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. So the smaller one you're referring to is actually the mid-sized one on there, correct?
That's correct. The retained portion is shown in green.
The owner wants to hold on to the green.
That's correct. They have a home on that property.
Thank you. Is there any members of the public that want to comment on this application? You already on. Will be online. Is the owner or the agent going to speak to this? You're one of our busiest customers.
Which is always a good thing. Sabrina Hasselt again with Northumberland Land Trust. And I also just want to comment that we are on a timeline for this property as well. We are receiving funding for the property. And basically we have to sever it in two parcels because of the ecological gifts requirements, which is a federal program. And they won't certify lands with buildings on the property, but we intend to retain those buildings for equipment storage and storage of equipment to help manage the property.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Members of council, do you have any questions for Sabrina or Tracy? Seeing none? Oh, do you have a comment?
Just a comment again, thank you. This is again exciting. I missed thanking the owner last time, but I do see Graham here, so thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
I'll read the resolution. That applications AH 04-2026 and AH 05-2026 by Graham Harris and Shelley Ray Slovendine to serve and convey two lots for natural heritage conservation in concession 6, part of lot 15 geographically in the township of Haldeman be approved subject to the following conditions. That a registered survey for the several parcels be submitted to the township. In addition to the registered survey, a geo-reference DWG file of the survey be provided in a format satisfactory to the township and Northumberland County. That a draft transfer for several parcels be submitted to the township. That the tax account for the subject property be paid up to date. That the applicant's lawyer submit an undertaking confirming that the severed parcel will be transferred to the Northumberland Land Trust to be used for natural heritage conservation. That $300 be paid for the issuance of the certificate of official in accordance with the bylaw 78-2024 fees and charges. Did I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Booth, seconded by Councillor O'Neill. Further discussion? All in favor? Motion's carried. That completes that portion of the meeting, so I'm going to read a motion to adjourn. It's recommended the Council Committee of Adjustment, the Land Division Committee of the Corporation of the Township of Alma, Haldeman, and act as follows. That the Committee of Adjustment Land Division Committee meeting held on May 26, 2026 be adjourned at 9:57 a.m. Did I get a mover seconder? Deputy Mayor Stover, seconded by Councillor Booth. Further discussion? All in favor? That's carried. So we're going to reconvene to a municipal planning regular council meeting. I'll need a motion to do that. Motion to reconvene to a municipal planning regular council meeting. Moved by Councilor Booth, seconded by Councilor O'Neill. Discussion. All in favor? And that was at 9:58. And Okay, next we're moving on to public meetings and hearings. And the first one is a motion to go into a public meeting. It's recommended the corporation council of the township of Allen act as follows. That council go into a public meeting under section 34 of the Planning Act of on May 26, 2026 at 9:58 a.m. Mover and seconder. Moved by Councilor Booth, second by Deputy Mayor Stolberg. All in favor? That's carried. And now we're going to move on to the plan of subdivision and zoning bylaw amendment for 4D Investment Corporation. Secretary Treasurer, ma'am, please go ahead.
Thank you, through the mayor. The purpose of the application is to change the zoning to Hamlet, residential exception number 35 and environmental protection as shown on the key map. This application is related to consent application AH01-2026 to create a vacant Hamlet residential lot, as well as a draft plan of subdivision application for 8 single detached dwellings. It's recommended that the applications be deferred until receipt and review of all peer review, department and agency comments with respect to the plan of subdivision and the zoning bylaw applications are received. I do have 2 additional slides available, one showing the location. It's hard to see the outline on the screen, but it is a parcel that fronts both Station Road and Old Danforth Road. And then there's the slide that shows the draft plan of subdivision, noting the locations of the wetlands, the water course, the flood limits, and the recommended buffers that the applicant is proposing for the development as part of the plan of subdivision. Please note the public meeting is for the zoning bylaw component. The Planning Act does not require public meetings for plans of subdivision, but we are able to entertain comments through today's meeting. And I expect that there will be members of the public in attendance that want to speak to the subdivision. Again, I can read out the email from Lynn Caswell in full. So she wants to object to the proposal of yet another one and only one access point on Little Branch from Danforth Road for 8 more homes. I also recognize the proposed severance for 1 more home fronting Station Road will eliminate the option of having the access on Station Road. Is there any way to change this, or do we just add it to the long list of likely subdivision? On another note, I noticed that every proposed home in the now 3 subdivision that accesses Old Danforth Road are 4 detached homes. In this age of affordability issues, there are no proposals for duplexes or triplexes. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there members of the public that wish to address this application? Ms. Cole, please come forward.
Thank you, Mayor Vogel. I realized I get a second chance. This is kind of good. So precedent has already been set to reroute construction traffic around the school zones when the Glens of Antrim was built. And so that's still the request that stays. And in addition, can I request that no construction traffic be permitted to use Old Danforth Road from Highway 2 to access the site? That is the portion that we're mostly concerned about, because it does go right past the school zones and in. So that is the area we're trying to avoid, the center there of the hamlet. Thank you.
Chris, you were up before. Would you like to come forward again for this application?
You want me to read my name?
I,
Yeah,
Sure.
that's Chris Renault and Janice Renault at 265 Old Danforth Road. So now I've lost my train of thought. I wanted to find out exactly how that's gonna affect my property. In the picture that I still don't see there with the road. There, I seen a picture, I was sent in the mail, a picture of the road, and I did talk to you that day when we walked down the road.
yes,
That there's appears to be a buffer of land that runs all along the side of my house property and across the back of the property, because the way the court goes in and around. And I want to know who's going to be taking care of that strip of property. Also, when they do start construction, how long is this construction supposed to take? Because there's going to be a lot of noise in that subdivision. That's pretty much, we're the only ones right beside that. It's going to affect us greatly with all the noise in that. Also, after that subdivision is built, does this side of the road become frontage on my house? Or in regards to tax purposes, are my taxes gonna go up substantially? The way that road runs down and around the court, it's gonna go all the way down the side of my property. It's gonna go around the back of my property, and it's also gonna affect my next door neighbor's property with those first two houses that are built. And also from looking at the map, when we bought, everything was over 1 acre lots. In that planned subdivision, those first two houses, they're only half acre lots. And discussion, when we had talked, every house is gonna have to have their own septic system. Is a half acre lot substantial? Take away all the water from the septic bed running through there? Is that property gonna be built up at all? Is there gonna be runoff that's gonna end up affecting my property? Everything runs down the hill. As it comes down the hill, my property does get a substantial amount of moisture, especially in the spring. When they build this, I know land changes with the heights or whatever when they build the houses. And I'd like to know exactly if there's gonna be, when they do the land and that, is it gonna be running off into my property?
Tracy, you want to comment? She's writing it all down, so.
Through the chair, we are still conducting a detailed review of the technical submissions, and the members of the public are welcome to book appointments to come in and see some of the technical studies. There's functional servicing reports, grading and drainage plans that would show how that is intended to be developed, and we could look at more detailed drawings that show the proposed layout of the road. There's proposed approximate 7-meter boulevards on each side of the paved width of the road, which is 20 meters in total. So there would be ditching on the roads that we could look at on the maps in our office. Mr. Renault would like to set up an appointment. Thank you.
That'd be helpful.
Oh,
Thank you very much. Any other people in the gallery would like to comment, or do we have anybody on Zoom? Okay. Yeah, thank you. Is there anybody attending virtually who would like to make a comment? Please raise your hand so that we know that you're, we can recognize you. Ms. Patterson, would you like to make a comment?
Yes, hello?
Hello? Yes, we can hear you.
Hi. Okay. Same thing as the last gentleman that spoke. Again, we're at the 625, so we're directly beside the severed portion of that lot. And so that means our backyard is going to be the backyards of, I guess, a few of the homes that are supposed to be built. And so a big concern, because we already have a lot of water runoff from, just again being lower from the town, and so we have a runoff going right through our property. And we were wondering and hoping that something like, I know that a lot of these new subdivisions do the ponds, the runoff ponds, I guess, that sort of thing. And I heard the young lady mention that you could get a more in-depth look. I was just wondering about where I find that information to go and check that out, because it is a big concern for us, because we are very wet here and our property was built a little higher. So I'm assuming they're going to have to do that with these new homes as well, because I don't understand where all this water is going to go.
I think if I heard correctly, Tracy would be happy to discuss what the results are of the tests that they're doing. Please go ahead.
Through the chair, the technical reports and drawings are available in our office. My contact information is on the public meeting notice that was sent out. And if I could just ask the last person who spoke to repeat her name and address for the record. I didn't catch that. Thank you.
Sure. It's Dana Patterson, and I'm at 625 Station Road.
Thank you, Dana.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? Members of council have any questions? Well, go ahead.
Oh, through the mayor, I think if the owner is available to speak to the application, they should have an opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the owner here or the attendant or the agent?
Yeah, the agent. Hi again.
Okay.
I just want to reiterate what Tracy stated. The technical reports are already done and submitted to the town. Members of the public who have concerns can go and review those reports. Another thing to mention is that there's already a mechanism to resolve these concerns, because these reports are being peer reviewed by external peer reviewers and also internal agencies. And if there are any concerns, these comments would go back to the sub-consultants who prepared these reports, and they'll resolve them, or at least respond to them. So I guess that should resolve most of the concerns. Regarding construction, I can state that appropriate mitigation measures will be undertaken to prevent any impacts on neighboring uses. I guess that's all I have to say. But again, if there are further questions from the council, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Catherine?
Thank you, Mayor Lobo. I'm picking up on the gentleman who was talking about the care of the common land along the side of the road, but also in the wetland or lowland areas that won't be part of the lots. What is the care and management plan for that pieces of property?
Thank you. Tracy, is there a plan for that?
Through the chair, so the applicant did indicate application for a planned condominium, which hasn't been submitted. I think that's part of our review. In my experience, lands that are hazard type lands where the water course are typically dedicated to the municipality. That way the hazard lands can be maintained and it's not typically those lands don't require a lot of maintenance. But that way it's within municipal ownership or caretaker over the long term. And in terms of the road, we may want to look at rather than the idea of condominium ownership, public ownership, so that we can maintain that road. And then there is a lot that has that abuts that property. It's the exterior yard, not the frontage, but if it's in public ownership, there may be opportunity for further development in that area as well. So I think through our detailed review, we'll be coming up with a thorough set of comments to provide back to the applicant for consideration once we've received everything from the peer review commenting bodies as well as all the technical departments and agencies. Thank you.
So there are, just so I understand, there are some possibilities of further consent applications.
Potentially one, the property owner would need to be interested, obviously, but it's always good to make sure that there are, we consider other opportunities in the future. It is in the designated hamlet, which is identified for, that's where development should happen in terms of the township as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councilor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mayor Local. I noticed several of the questions and comments that I'm hearing today. I've heard previous presentations because we've had a number of developments, and I know our official plan keeps getting kicked down the road, but any chance that would reduce the number of questions, would it not, if we move forward with the community development piece and Grafton?
In terms of policy?
Yes,
Yes.
for sure you're having to work with what we have now, but ideally we would have a new official plan that would address these.
Right, and that is something that our department needs to get organized and kicked off. So we are looking at getting terms of reference wrapped up in the next, hopefully, month or so, as long as other priorities don't cloud the agenda or the work plan.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mary Douglas.
Well, just following up on that, ironically, I think some of the questions you're having to answer over and over and again is consuming your time, that's preventing you from doing the work that would reduce those questions. So I think maybe we need to prioritize this because we have an opportunity to decide what the future of this hamlet is, and we need to move forward with that.
We'll stay on subject. Yes, you have a final comment?
Yes.
It's just
Procedural. Through the clerk, is the procedure allows for this? I think the public meeting portion, the opportunity for the public to comment is still open.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor Logo. Yes, I forgot to take into consideration all of the changes that have come down from the province regarding planning applications and the fact that this plan of subdivision doesn't have to go through the usual process it used to have to. My question is, just using the county as an example, I know when there's anything to do with planning applications, they have a section that you can go to see all of the reports. Rather than putting the onus on residents to have to make appointments and take up staff time, is there a way to consider possibly using our Let's Talk on McCalderman site? I know that a neighboring municipality does that as well. Then all of those plans and documents could be available for the public to view and then just submit questions as opposed to taking up valuable staff time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the mayor, I believe one of the county planners is here today. I'm not sure if they do have the plans and studies posted. Maybe I can confirm.
Ashley, you would know that?
No. Not at this point, but we can look into whether our web resources have that capability. And if not, I'll chat with Ashley to see if that's something they have the ability to do. And then if we're able to do that, if people want to send me an email, I can connect them with a link. If that's not technically, if we don't have that technical ability, I can provide documents through email as well. So everybody does have my contact information, and I believe the counties as well. And it's also posted on the sign to get in touch with us. But we can find a way to get documents to people that are asking for them.
Okay. Thank you. I'm getting a hands up there, high five there, Mr. Starr, so must be good stuff. Yes.
If I may, through you to Tracy, the last few planning meetings, and it's basically a comment. I really thank you for bringing your insight and maneuvering us through what this hamlet is going to look like, and with your expertise, I really appreciate you sitting there, because you're really going to be able to navigate us through this. And I do realize how busy your office is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next application. And it's a zoning bylaw amendment for John Michael Post Total Leads. Is that getting closer?
Possibilities.
Possibilities. Okay. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Through the chair, the purpose of the application is to change the zoning from to rural residential. And the land is currently zoned rural and environmental protection. The environmental protection zone will remain as shown on the schedule on the screen. The application is related to the consent for the severance or the conveyance to the Northumberland Land Trust. The retained lands include an existing dwelling and accessory structures. The application does maintain the intent of the township's official plan and is consistent with the provincial planning statement. It's recommended that the application be approved as it provides for the fulfillment of one of the conditions of the consent. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions regarding this application from the public? Anybody online that has any more questions or comments? If there anybody is online that would like to make a comment, please raise your hand. Seeing none. Is the owner here? I don't believe so. Any questions from council? Seeing none. That concludes our public meeting hearings, and we'll take a motion to reconvene to the municipal planning regular council meeting. It is recommended the council of the township of Allen hold as follows. That the council of the township of Allen reconvene to the municipal planning regular council meeting at 10:22 a.m. Mover and seconder. Deputy Mayor Stover, seconded by Councillor Booth. Any questions? All in favor? That's carried. Moving on to planning bylaws. Our first one is bylaw 2026-37, zone bylaw amendment. Z03-2026. Bylaw 2026-37, zoning bylaw amendment. Z03-2026 for apostolic use. Gonna reread that. That bylaw 2026-37 being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2019 for 578 Fifth Line Road, Z03-206, be given a first, second, and third reading and finally passed this 26th day of May 2026. Mover in a second. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stover, second by Councillor Booth. Any questions? All in favor? That's carried. Planning Department reports. Public Works and Infrastructure report. And I believe we have Stefan here, who's gonna make his comments regarding the awarding of RFQ PW 01202658 for granular aid supply and haul. Please go ahead.
Through you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. Just here to answer any questions council may have in regards to the supply and hauling of the granular aid in support of our surface treatment program for 2026.
Thank you, Stefan. Any questions or comments? I have one curiosity more than anything else. Have you seen a change because of the inflation prices? Are you starting to see any effect in that yet, Stefan?
Through you, Mayor, yes. The percentage increase is around 12% right now for typically for haulage. That seems to be the increase that's coming across, and asphalt cement has increased approximately 23% since about January. So there's two substantial increases that are impacting the market now.
That's a lot. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you, Stefan. I'll read the recommendation and move in a second, and we'll discuss it further. It is recommended the Council of the Corporation of Township of Allen, Cullivan, act as follows. The council received report PW 202606 for information, and the council award RFQ PW 01202650 for 5/8" granular aid supply and haul for the supply and delivery of 5/8" granular aid aggregate for road schedule for surface treatment to Gerald Finley Construction Limited in the amount of $157,160 plus HST, and that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute an agreement with Gerald Finley Construction Limited for the awarding of RFQ PW 01. Can I get a mover in a second? Moved by Deputy Mayor Stover, seconded by Councillor O'Neill. Any discussions? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you, Stefan. Next we have Parks and Recreation Facilities. And it's regarding request for dredging Wicklow Beach Lodge. Zach is not here. Do you have any comments?
Yes, through you, Mayor. I've approved a report for Committee of the Whole coming up in June. And it's a fulsome report about dredging requirements, fees, etc.
Any questions? Go ahead, Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mayor Lobo. This motion that's sitting before us is just making sure that our funds are available to do the work as soon as possible. Do you have any concerns that if it comes to Committee of the Whole and then that puts us into July before those funds could be released? But can we just move it? Councils can do whatever they want, but anyway, would it be in the best interest to release or allow it to be used now rather than having to wait till July to release funding for it?
Let's see.
Through your Mayor, my understanding is the process is quite lengthy. And once we understand council wants to approve spending for this, applying for the permits through the Ministry of Environment is fairly extensive. We were reminded by this just this past week where a couple residents in Haliburton County were fined for dredging without permits. So we have to be extremely careful, and the report deals with all of that for council.
Go ahead.
Follow up, Mayor Lovell. That is why council requested a report in this in January. It is also why council has been putting money year over year into a reserve fund specifically for dredging. I'm listening to what you've just said to me, and I'm hearing that this project will have great difficulty if it can move ahead at all this year. I know your report, you tell me, will be fulsome, and I will get all that information. But I do remind everyone at this table that we did, as a council, ask for this in January to avoid this exact predicament.
Thank you, Councilor Neal. Any other further questions or comments? I'll read the resolution. Request for dredging Wicklow Beach launch. It is recommended to deferred by RS. That staff be authorized to use the full amount available in the dredging reserve to dredge the Wicklow Beach, Wicklow Boat. Did I get through for a second? Moved by Councilor O'Neill, seconded by Councilor Booth. Further discussion? Go ahead, Councilor O'Neill.
Since the motion on the floor is that we can use the reserve funds, as I've already stated, want this to be able to move forward. I know residents care passionately about that facility, and it is used extensively by visitors as well. It is definitely one of our most wonderful assets, and we have many wonderful assets, but that one's right up there at the top. So I'm just wondering if there's any reason from anybody on the council table that we wouldn't approve this today. Is there a counter argument that I should be aware of why we would not go ahead with this?
I guess I'm not arguing with you, but my only comment would be, you know, one time it used to cost $100,000 to do that. I don't know if we have the money in the budget to do that. So, and it can vary. I agree it can vary, but I would hate to commit more than the job to do it if we don't have enough money to put away to do it. Councilor Ruth.
Through you, your worship, I'm just wondering, do we know exactly, maybe the treasurer knows how much money we have in the reserve right now? I believe in last council, when we did dredge it last time, we were surprised that the price came in very low. And I think, I'm not sure, I think we said that we would put $5,000 a year away for the 5 years or whatever, and it would leave us just a little bit short. But like you said, Mr. Mayor, who knows, the pricing with everything else could come in sky high. Just wondering how much do we have in the account right now?
See, Paul's here. Paul, can you comment on that, or?
I can take a look at it. I don't have the number in front of me, but I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The other comment I'll make, I was down to the launch there a couple of weeks ago, and Lake Ontario was up, like way up. And like over a foot, I believe I was told. Maybe that's even a meter it's up above. Anyways, the water is well above where the dock, where the walkway is along there, and I'm not sure that it has to be done in the shore. That's my only comment. I'd like to be a little bit more, first of all, I want to make sure that we are in compliance with whatever has to be done to do that work. And I'd like to make sure that we have the money there to do it. At the same time, we have to recognize the need for it. So I would like to see the report come first. So. Go ahead, Councilor O'Neill.
I appreciate your argument there, and I mean, obviously the reserve is there, and my point of bringing this forward is more to make sure that we're going to see action. It sounds like there's going to be action. I agree. It's wonderful to hear Mother Nature has helped us out too. That makes it that much nicer for us. Anyway, I am okay with this coming then at the next meeting alongside the report. So we can defer it to then.
Thank you. Can I get a seconder to defer? Seconded by Deputy Mayor Stover. Yeah, we'll just get some technical advice.
Through Mr. Mayor, to defer it, we would defer it to committee of the whole, because that is not a decision-making body. We would defer it to the next meeting council, which at this point would come forward to the July meeting. So you would make the decision based on your information provided to the June committee of the whole, and then that, whatever recommendation comes out of committee of the whole would then look at the July meeting. So you wouldn't be doing any approvals at that time till July.
Any comments?
So, follow-up question to that, whether to the treasurer or the CAO. My understanding is the reserve is there that we can use whenever. Is that correct? Is that a fair assessment? If it's a dedicated reserve, then?
Can you comment on that? Let me be for the treasurer. Okay.
Yes.
Paul? Yeah, please come up.
Through the chair, yes. If the reserve's there, then it would be used for that purpose.
Okay, so there's no benefit or detriment either way to the motion that's on the floor today.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion to defer. All in favor? Motion is carried. Next we have township owned fire department chief vehicles. And there's a CAO report 2026-03 township owned and fire department chief vehicles for the 19th of May, 2026. It is recommended the committee of the whole receive report CAO 2026-03 township owned vehicles and fire department chief vehicles for information. Even a second. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stover, seconded by Councillor Booth. Any further discussion? Councillor Booth.
Through you, your worship, since our last meeting at the committee of the whole, this was discussed, and I had a notice of motion on there which was voted down. So I just wanted to make a comment that I don't support the decision to leave these vehicles unmarked. In our community, these vehicles may be the first on scene at an emergency. In that moment, there cannot be confusion. People need to instantly recognize who's in charge and respond without hesitation. This is about public safety, plain and simple. It's also about accountability. These are publicly funded vehicles, and they should be clearly identifiable as such. We already hold other departments to that standard, and this should be no different. If a vehicle is being used to serve the public, especially in an emergency, it must be visibly identified to the public, because in an emergency, recognition is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments? Go ahead, Councillor Neal.
I concur with everything that Councillor Booth has identified. I also, this morning when I arrived, one of our public works vehicles was parked out here, and it was clearly marked. And it did give me a sense of pride that this is both me as a councillor, but broadly as the community. This is something we've invested in. This is something we're proud of. And I would like to see all of our vehicles marked because I do think they are a major investment and something to be proud of.
Thank you. Any further comments? All in favor? Motion's carried. Administrative reports. Committee of the whole recommendations. And we have, committee of the whole recommendation for May 19th. And it's coming from the May 19th meeting. And it's regarding committee of the whole recommendations to council at the May 26th, 2026 municipal planning regular council meeting, that the Ontario Ombudsman be recognized as the Township of Allen Calderman's closed meeting investigator, that a bylaw be brought forward to the May 26, 2026 municipal planning regular council meeting for council consideration to appoint ADR Chambers as the township's interim integrity commissioner, and that any further over expenditures resulting from integrity commission expenses in 2026 be funded through the general government's reserve as needed. Mover and second. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stover. Seconder. Well, seconder. I'll second it. Do I have to step on the chair to do that? I don't have to step on the chair if I'm second. All in favor? Go ahead.
I have a question through you, your worship. I'm just wondering, now that we're switching over to the Ontario Ombudsman and to ADR Chambers, will numbers and contact information be available then to the community on the website or that, since we're not using the Integrity Commissioner anymore?
I would say yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Then that can be done, but this is done now, or we have to wait to approve. Once it's approved, that will be available to the public.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor O'Neill.
We generally receive an annual report from our integrity commissioner. When will we be receiving our annual report from Principals Integrity?
Go ahead, Madam Chair. Sure.
Through Mr. Mayor, that was scheduled for June meeting. However, with the transition, that's something that we'll coordinate with ADR, who will be taking over the files and coordinate from there and update council accordingly.
Councilor O'Neill.
Sorry, that I'm confused, and if you could help me, what does coordinate with them mean? Are we going to receive a presentation from Principals Integrity? Because I believe there's been numerous things that they have done this year for us.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, the staff have been working to make the arrangements for the annual report. However, with the recent decisions of council and the transition to the new council, the new integrity commissioner, that annual report will still be coming forward to council. It will be done through ADR based on availability, again, and the transition. So they will be taking over the files from the existing integrity commissioner, and moving forward, they will be your interim integrity commissioner going forward from there. So that is something we will coordinate with them in terms of providing that update.
Thank you. Councilor O'Neill.
Sorry, you're gonna have to help me. I'm getting more confused as I listen. We've had an agency that did all of the work for the past year. And I think I heard that someone who didn't do any of the work is now going to do the report on it. Is that what I heard?
That's what I heard.
Okay,
Councilor Booth.
Could I request a recorded vote for this, please? Thank you.
Councilor Roman. Is there any more discussion?
I just want to say it would be my preference to have the people who did the work for us during the past year be the people who report to us on the work that they did for us.
Thank you. Any other further comments? We'd ask for a recorded vote.
Councillor Mayor, we're going to ask for a recorded vote by Councillor Booth. I'll go through council alphabetically by last name. When I say your name, please answer yea or nay on how you intend to vote in the following motion. That the Ontario Ombudsman be recognized as the Township of Walnut Alderman's closed meeting investigator, and that a bylaw be brought forward to the May 26, 2026 Municipal Planning Regular Council meeting for council consideration to appoint ADR Chambers as the Township's Integrity Commissioner, and that any future over expenditures resulting from the Integrity Commissioner expenses in 2026 be funded through the General Government Reserve as needed. Councillor Booth?
No.
Councillor O'Neill?
Am I allowed to ask a question of Mayor at this point?
No, go ahead.
Could you go through with me what the consequences of a yes vote versus a no vote would be for us, please?
I'm gonna ask the question of that, but my understanding of that would be that we don't pass it, we don't have an advisory or a integrity commissioner or a closed meeting investigator. That's a good question, I don't know the answer. Actually, after we started the vote, no member shall speak to such question or present any other motion until a vote has been taken on such question.
Okay. Then I will vote no.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
Stover?
Yes.
Mayor Vogel?
Yes.
Motion is defeated.
So we don't have any information about this. This one is finished.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, in the defeat of that motion, staff will bring forward further options to council in regards to what we're going to do for the Integrity Commissioner, being so the current contract expires as of June 12th. So we will bring forward something forward to the council.
Thank you. Bylaws. Bylaw 2026 third week, adopt 2026 tax rates. The recommended council of Corporation of Township of Allen McCollum and act as follows. That bylaw 2026 38 being a bylaw to adopt the 2026 tax rate, begin the first, second, and third reading, and finally pass this 26th day of May 2026. Before we do any voting on this, I would like Paul to please come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before we vote on it, I did want to make a correction to the bylaw. So the bylaw does state a tax levy of about 9.37 million. That number is incorrect. So the actual tax levy, which includes the infrastructure levy, should be 9,252,082. So that number should be that is the tax levy. So that number was entered incorrectly. It was taken from an older version of the budget model. However, I would mention that the error does not filter through the rest of the bylaw. So the tax rates that you see in front of you are correct. It's just a typo on that line. So we will correct that for the final bylaw when we post it to the website. But the tax rates that you see are correct.
Thank you. Councilor O'Neill.
Sorry, I'm just opening up on our website the budget that's on there, and it has yet a third number in there. And this is our published and I believe our final budget. Bear with me, I'm sorry. Could have had this. The number that is on here is $9,070,668.99.
Yes, through the chair, that is the number not including the infrastructure levy. So when you include the infrastructure levy of 181,413, you get to the 9,252,082.
Go ahead, Councilor O'Neill.
I believe this is something we did discuss at length during the budget process, and that there had been insurance given to council. I know you weren't here. This has nothing to do with you. But that there was going to be changes made. There was a reduction in the staffing wages that was going to make sure that was included in that final number. I'd have to go back and listen to those meetings and listen to those discussions, but I think that's very definitely the understanding I had, is that that final number included, by moving money from salary lines to the reserve for infrastructure.
Good share. So it's my understanding that those corrections were included in that 9,070,000, and then the 2% infrastructure levy would be in addition to that.
See, that's where you and I have different understandings of what happened.
Go ahead, Councilor Booth.
Through your worship, I guess I always related it in my mind to the percentage. I know you're talking about 9 million. So when you're talking about that, Mr. Treasurer, so is that a 6.54% increase? Because that's what we authorized on February the 11th. We passed the final budget, which was 6.54. And that included 2% dedicated infrastructure fund. So it was actually 4.54. So as long as whatever $9 million thing you're talking about is a 6.54 in total, then I'm fine with that. But I think, as Councillor O'Neill is saying, the numbers don't seem to be matching up.
So through the chair, and I don't have the budget in front of me. My understanding was it was 0.08 before growth, 5.08%. When you take off growth, it was the 4.07%, if I have those numbers correct, and that would include the infrastructure levy.
Well, can you repeat that again? You're saying 7%, including the technical tax rate?
So it would be 5.08%, I believe, including the infrastructure levy. And then when you net off growth of 1.01%, the percentage increase would be 4.07%. And those numbers do include the infrastructure levy.
Includes the infrastructure levy. That's what I recall.
Fair.
Yes.
I would appreciate, since Paul is new to the position relatively, that he be given the opportunity to investigate this. And if council has questions, he can absolutely bring it back. And if our councilors have questions, they're invited to please visit Paul and please get a greater appreciation or understanding of the details. That would be my recommendation.
Thank you. Also,
So would council be up through you, your worship, to defer this until the next meeting, just so we can make sure that we're just all on the same number? That's all.
Through the chair, if we do defer, that means we wouldn't be able to send out the final tax bills until after the bylaw is passed, which means it would delay our tax collection.
when do we normally send that out?
Through the chair, if it's passed today, we would send those out early next week. And then the due dates would be, as expressed in the bylaw. So the due date for the next installment, I think, was June 26th. And if it gets deferred, then it would be delayed by, whenever the next 2 weeks or whatever the next meeting is. And we'd have to readjust those installment dates as well.
Councilor O'Neill.
I do have the budget open in front of me, and so I believe, which is where you started, that if the 4.08% is the number here, and you are saying the numbers in what is in front of us today in the bylaw, at the bottom, would to the residents be the 4.08%?
That's correct, yes.
However, in the bylaw, that other number above is the number that's in question. So this leaves us in a kind of a conundrum, because there is dispute on that particular number, whereas the one below, we're good with. Is that a fair assessment of where we are at this moment then?
So yes, that one number is incorrect, but it should be the 9.252 million, which does amount to that 4.08%.
If we defer it, how can we send the taxes at the right time? We can't.
Through the chair, we can't. No, we would have to wait until the bylaws minutes.
Go ahead. Councilor Booth.
I agree, and I prefer not to defer it, but maybe we can have a quick meeting sometime this week. It's just very important. I want to make sure that this number that goes out is exactly what council voted on. So I don't want to defer and make sure that your staff's going to go through all issues, but I think we need to confirm, just to, as the CAO said, so maybe we, Colin, once you figure this all out, Colin can report back to us, we have a quick meeting or something. It's just pretty important. I don't want to rush it just because it's like we're going to mix up some stuff down the road.
How long would it take you to defer?
A day or two. Probably, yeah. So if we reschedule or if we have a special meeting this week, as long as we do it before next week, it shouldn't delay anything.
It's not going to have any impact.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it is. So I would suggest that if you can have something ready for either Thursday or Friday, probably Thursday would be better for it. I guess I shouldn't say that, but we can have something, because we do want to make sure that's absolutely correct. And not this. And Paul, I think when you come along halfway through, it's very difficult. I think it was 3/4 of the way through. Probably by the time.
The budget was passed before we met him.
Oh, was that right? Okay, well, and I do remember that 5.09 as being the top thing, but I'm not even sure if that's the right one to figure it.
We can clarify that during the special meeting.
Okay. So I think we have a motion to defer. The mover and the seconder to defer until we have a special meeting. Moved by Councilor Booth, seconded by Councilor O'Neill. Any other further comments? All in favor? That's carried. Bylaw 2026-39, execute agreement with Gerald Finley Construction Limited. Bylaw 2026-39, execute agreement with Gerald Finley Construction Limited regarding granular A supply and all. It is recommended council of the Corporation of the Township of Allen Halton enact as follows. The bylaw 2026-39 being a bylaw to execute an agreement with Gerald Finley Construction Limited for supply and haul of granular A aggregate, be given first, second, and third reading, and finally passed this 26th day of May 2026. Move to second, please. Moved by Councilor Booth, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stover. All in favor? Motion's carried. Bylaw 2026-40, we're going to pass on that. And we're coming bit down to then bylaw 2026-41, confirmation bylaw. Being advised, it is recommended the Council of Corporation of the Township of Allen Cullen act as follows. That bylaw 2026-41, being a bylaw to adopt the proceedings of the municipal planning / regular council meeting held on the 26th day of May 2026, and to authorize its execution be given a first, second, and third reading and finally pass this 26th day of May 2026. Mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Booth, seconded by Councillor O'Neill. Further discussion? All in favor? Motion's carried. Motion to adjourn. It is recommended the Council of the Corporation of Township of Allen Cullen act as follows. That the municipal planning / council meeting held on May 26, 2026 be adjourned at 10:59 p.m. Mover and seconded. Moved by Councillor Booth, seconded by Councillor O'Neill. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you, everyone. Have a safe day, and we'll